Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday, everybody. Yay, it's like Groundhog Day. But today's Friday. I have to know it's Friday. Garbage has to go out on Friday, so I have to get up and make sure I get that done. So, hello, everyone. I hope you had a good week. I hope you had a good week. I've been working on some country club cards, clubhouse cards, using the designer paper that is a line drawing. So I want to show you a couple little tips with that and some ways to cut it and different things like that. So I have like 3 cards to show you with that, and then I was going to show you, follow up on some cards from Tuesday's cards that I did. So let me take a breath. So if you're there, let me know. If you have a question, let me know. If you'd like to see something specific, let me know. Do you get that I'm pretty open to suggestion or requests? It's okay. That's what we're doing here today. My phone keeps moving. Woo. It's like, okay. I have a box of cards back there, and that's what I'm going to be doing later today, is writing out cards. So if you have commented, if you have shared, I so appreciate that. And to show my appreciation, a number of you, quite a few of you, will receive cards in the mail. So let me know, talk to me, and you'll get a card. So here we go. I'm going to turn the camera around, and I'll finish up with the Tuesday things. Hello, Jean, how are you? I'll finish up with the Tuesday cards, showing you some other ones I did, and then we'll get started on the Country Club designer paper. So there we go. Hi. I'm so happy that you're here. And Patty, yay. All right. So Jean is from Georgia, right? Patty's from Florida. Chris, yes, Wisconsin. Sorry, it's snowing, but tomorrow's going to be 50. And Cindy, yay, ladies. This is fun. This is totally fun. So you're going to love this set. Howdy. I'm so glad y'all are here with me. You're going to love this set. You're going to love these cards. It's kind of a fun thing. So here we go. I'm going to turn the camera around now that we have a party started and show you what I have. So here we go. I'm going to try to make that a little bit bigger. And Mary Catherine, hello. Peter did good today. It was hard, but hello, Linda. Ooh, this is Romper Room. Yay. Okay, so these are the cards that I made on Tuesday, right? This is the card I made on Tuesday. And I had said, well, it needed something over here. I added a little flower. So I added another flower on this one. So this was the Tuesday card, right, with the fun fold. I did put all the directions for this on my stamping journey on my blog. So if you're, oh, I have ink or glue all over my nails. If you are interested in making one of these cards, the instructions are, all the sizes are on the blog. And then you can watch the video to see how I put it together for where you glue it and that kind of stuff. So that's that. But then I made some more. So I made this one, and I added a couple of the gilded gems again, and I added the little flower. Instead of doing the green inside, I decided everybody should have more flowers. It's like a bunch of bouquets. And then put one here, and another bouquet I fussy cut and put inside. But then my friend Linda said she wanted it a little plainer. She didn't want the gilded gems. So I did this one with just the little flowers. This is that flower punch that you could receive free during celebration. If you didn't, don't worry. It will be in our next catalog. But I thought it sort of mimicked these little flowers on this designer paper. So Linda, this one has no, it's a little plainer, right? It has no, I used cardstock instead of the gilded gems on this one. So there you go. So same card, 3 different versions. You can do whatever you like. That's the fun part of creating your own cards, right? There we go. See? Ta-da, ta-da. So now for today's card, that's the follow-up. And then today's card, we're going to do this card here. So this is the designer paper that has, I'll show you the inside. This is the designer paper that has all the line drawings on it. And they're just in like black and white. So I'm going to show you how the best way to cut it, first of all. So here is the paper. So this is the one I talked about. Oh, okay, you might have to leave soon. Well, you can come back and watch later, Patty. I'll put it on it'll be on here and it'll be on YouTube. And so it comes in 12 by 12. It has a fabulous back paper, but if you want to do these line drawings, which are really cool, and they have the lady golfer, the best way to cut this, it's each picture cuts into a 4 by 3. So if you put it in your cutter, I'm moving everything over. Hopefully y'all can see this. I have paper left in here. I cut it first this way at 4 inches. There we go. And then you can do each individual one at 3 inches. And you'll have all of the pieces cut. And then you can do whatever you want with them. So you can get, I think is it 9 pictures here, 9 cards. But they all cut up perfectly then. So, ta-da. So I'm going to show you what you can do after that. So what I did on, I'll put that over there, on this card here was I wanted to make this a little bit smaller. So this is my 4 by 3 it starts out with, right? So I wanted it smaller than that, and I wanted to frame it in, and I wanted to have the stitching on there. So I took my rectangle dies, stitched rectangle dies, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to bring the big shot over here. So let's move this over right here. Let's see, can you all see that? So what I did, I have to talk softer when I stand up because I'll blow your ears out. The thing is right here. Okay, so what I did is I put this on, and I lined it up with the end of the, I was thinking grassy knoll, that's not it. I lined it up on the end of the line of the drawing. Okay, just like that. And then I cut it out. There we go. And then I'm going to bring it back here. I'm going to take this piece off. And then I want this other side to be stitched, and I want it a little bit smaller. So again, well, you could do it this way and fit that in. Turn it over and fit it in, but I did it like this. I put mine this way. And I just lined up the end. There we go, like that. I'm just lining it up with the stitching there. And then I ran this through again. So you can make whatever size you want. There we go. Throw those pieces away. Okay. Ta-da, ta-da! There we go. So you can modify and create your own size. So it's not just what you're given. You can make it into whatever. So, but in this case, I wanted to frame it with Night of Navy. So because you're going to have a slight difference, you know, depending on where you go, I used my little grid paper here, and then I cut it, I'll cut my navy blue like a 1/4 inch bigger. So on this side, I'm going to go to 3 1/2, and on this side, I'm going to go to 2 7/8. So I'm going to cut this paper here at 3 1/2 by 2 and let's see here, by 2 7/8. Yeah, okay, right there. Ta-da! And then this will line up on here and give me a nice little border, just like that. So use that grid paper. It's very handy, especially if you're gonna kind of fussy cut and do, you know, some different things with your rectangles or any of those shapes that you can do this with. So now that we have that done, what I want to do is color this in. This paper goes with garden green. We do not have a garden green blend, so I'm going to put this, I'm going to just lay this on here so it's easier to see. We don't have a garden green blend, so I used my trusty blender pen. So if you haven't used a blender pen before, it's an easy way to pick up color and do a little coloring. What you do is you turn the pad around. I always go from the back side, and I just give it a push with my the palm of my hand. And then you're going to open it up, and you're going to use this as your palette. Now, if I go, and you're just going to pick up a little bit of color with this, you can go from color to color. All you have to do is go on the side so you don't squish the tip, and just kind of rinse it off until the color is gone. So I'll use multiple colors today on the same thing. All I have to color in is my trees. So I just wanted a little bit of color. So I'm going to pull it over and just kind of muddy it up here. And I'm going to start where on the line drawing it's darker. So that's where it's shaded. So it's going to be darker there. I'm just going to put it in, and I'm going to draw in little tiny circles and pull that around. Pick up a little more. It goes pretty quickly, but you can see how I'm just barely touching that color in there. And I'm just putting it down on the paper. So let's pull a little more in here. And you get it light and dark, and it gives you kind of highlights of the trees, right? Just like if you're looking at some trees are lighter, some trees are darker, you see a little shadowing, and you just kind of pull it away when you want it lighter. And then just go in little tiny circles. And that will color that in. Ta-da, ta-da. Pretty easy. Since we don't have the garden green, and I'm a matchy-matchy girl, so I wanted to get that in here so that it matched up. Now, for her skirt and her shirt and the rest of that, I did use my blend, so you can use multiple ways to color with the same, with one project. There we go. My favorite thing to do, and I wouldn't on this paper because it's too thin, but the girls know, my favorite is the aqua painters. Love the aqua painters. And so maybe I'll have to try to do something with the aqua painter next week. That's my favorite thing. But on that, you would want to use either the shimmer paper or the, see how I got it a little bit darker? So look at the definition in the trees. It just makes it look neater, I think, you get some definition in there. I'm going to put a little bit more over here. I want it a little darker here at the base. There we go. This one too. Just a little bit more there. So there we go. So I have the trees. Now that I'm done with the green, I'm just going to roll it to the side to empty that off. And then, oh wait, I did use a little bit more. Wait a minute. So I did add a little bit of green very lightly. So the green that's way out to the side here, that's kind of muddled up, really light just here. I just wanted to go along that grassy line here. I don't want to color in the whole thing and get, that's too much. So I just wanted to go like under her feet and that little grassy line, just very lightly there. Okay, so let me color this off. And then I went with the tree trunks and her hair with the soft suede. So I already have my little color palette out here. So I'm just going to pick this up, and it's so tiny. The blender pen is perfect for this because it's so little. Little. It's a very fine tip on it. So I can go and just pick up very lightly a little bit of that. And then we're going to do her hair here. It's always like, okay, what color hair should I make it? Well, we'll make it brown. I could make it gray. Everybody's hair is getting gray now. Okay, there's that. And then I am going to do her shoes because they're so tiny, and I have them in Night of Navy. So I'm going to use my blender pen for that also, because that's such a little bit to color in. So I'm just picking up the color there, and just really tiny. Just kind of filling it in a little here. Very, there. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. Very little. This has got a nice point to it. So, there we go. Okay. Now, the rest of it, I'm going to use my blends with. So I did take my light pool party, and I drew just one thin line. Again, I didn't want to color in the whole skyline and all around. I wanted it very minimal, so I just went very lightly just at the top of the tree, the grass line here. Just like that, just a little. Just gives it a little bit more definition and depth to it, okay? So my top I did with the Poppy Parade, so I'm going to go with the light Poppy Parade first. So what I usually do is go around the outside. I'm kind of leaning over here, so I hope I get it right here, so I don't color in her arm, make her a different color. That would be bad. And I'm just moving my project to where it's comfortable for me to get to all the areas I need to color. Okay, I can't just leave it all straight. Do you, what do people do? I'm constantly moving it around. There we go. And so I went with the light first, but there are some lines in here to do some shading. Thank you, Stampin' Up, for doing that. So I'm going to go a little bit with the dark. And again, I'm using the pointy end, not the paintbrush end. And there's probably a technical term for that. Pointy end is probably not it. But that's what I'm using. Okay. Y'all know what I'm talking about, so it's okay. There. So that just kind of brings out the lines that they already have in there. And then her skirt I did with the light Night of Navy. I'm pulling that off. So I just kind of go with the outline. I'm going to turn my little paper around here. There we go. I came back this afternoon and started working on these, and it was like, okay, I could have just kept going and then had this at about 8 o'clock tonight, and I would have had a whole bunch of them to show you, but I thought I need to stop. I need to just stop and take it easy and show you what I have here. And then I did on her little cap here. I probably should have used the blender pen on this one because it's so much smaller, but there we go. We got it. Okay. And then I did go ahead and do some dark lines. And when this dries up, you'll be able to see it a little bit more when it kind of soaks in, and there we go. There. Okay. Now, her skin, I used ivory. We have ivory or bronze that you can use for a flesh tone. So on this little girl, I did the ivory. Otherwise, she really looks washed out. We have to give her a little bit of color here. There we go. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. Okay. So I had one item I have to pull over here because I usually don't stamp on colored paper, but on this one I wanted to. So I decided I would, bend the rules. Let's get this stuff out of here. So there's our girl. She's going to go on there. I already used my Always Argyle, Absolutely Argyle or something Argyle, the embossing folder. On this card, this is usually the side I use, this front part here. On this card, I use this. Hello, Lenore. There we go. Yeah, remember Lenore? My folks golfed all the time. Remember, Lenore was one. Last week I talked about when we took golfing lessons. Remember, Lenore, when we went to the golf? We went golfing. That was interesting. I think it was you and I and Joey and Karen, I think, went with us. So I'm going to stamp this on the mint macaroon with Night of Navy. And then I'm going to hold this off to the side. I'm going to quickly use the On this one I used the punch, the classic label punch. But on this one I am going to use the die that comes with this set. So it just will cut out the happy birthday. So I'm going to use this instead. So let me just go to the side. Lenore was one of them that we, when we went golfing, it was interesting. I was not good at golfing. I'm not a sporty gal at all. Let's see here. I like to watch sports. I love football, but not that I'm going to play it. I'll just watch. Somebody's got to be a supervisor, you know. Here we go. Let me cut this out. On the side here, you can't see me, but you can hear me. Here we go. Okay. There. Happy birthday. Mint macaroon. Just to pull out another color, I thought it went nice with the lighter color of the green here. So, let's start putting these together. I'm wheezing today. Sorry. I guess I don't know why. There we go. And I'll explain some of the other ones. So, again, you know, I turn everything to the side. I don't know why. Okay, so on this one, I think I need to cut a little bit more because I have these sides even. So I'm just going to bring my cutter over and I'm just going to shave a little bit off of there till I like it. There we go. Let's bring this over. I'm going to put this up here. There we go. Ta-da! Perfect. You can always adjust it. Bigger is better than having it too small. So I'm going to go ahead and take my designer paper. I thought this nice small Argyle print looked nice with her. So I'm going to put, you know, versus like this big print, that to me, that just doesn't go. You have to have it sort of match the size of what you're working with. I think that's a quilting thing, you know, patterns and sizes and making it look balanced and together here. There. Okay. And then I put this, I'm going to put the flatter side up instead of the bumpy side up. And this is just going to go right in the middle. So adding a little bit more adhesive because remember we don't have a flat surface that we're putting it down on. Now I can kind of use my pattern on the designer paper to see if I have this straight. I'm kind of over a little bit here sometimes. I'm not looking directly over it because I have it off to the side, so there we go. And then on our lady, I put her up on dimensionals because she is the focus of our card today. So let's put her up on dimensionals. And then I had I like when you have the verse and it's a little bit, I'm going to put some extra here. I like when you have the verse and it's a little bit off out of the picture frame. So I bumped that over to the side. So do y'all have plans? Is anybody going for fish tonight, picking up fish? I told Peter we have a 6 o'clock pickup for groceries and then we can eat after that because I needed to get hamburger buns. I have the hamburger, I just don't have any buns, so it's like, okay, and then I'm just going to kind of center that there. So doesn't that look nice? Kind of centered in there. All right, and our little, where's my happy birthday? Over here. Here's my happy birthday. So I'm going to put this here and just have it off the side a little bit. Now, because it's hanging off there, I am going to take some of our small dimensionals and put it on the end here so that it kind of holds that up a little bit. There. And then I'll put a little green glue on the part that's going to go over on the picture. There we go. That'll make it stay well enough. Okay. I'm going to put it like this. There we go. Ta-da. Okay. That's the front. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the base of the card. No other dimension. There. So, there we go. I like the colors. I love the Night of Navy with the garden green. I think it's kind of a fun look. There. And this just kind of pulls up a little bit. Okay, so I needed to put some gems on because that's what I do. These little gems are in the, Cindy, I think you just bought these. These are in the annual catalog. They're called Happiness Blooms Enamel Dots. And it was an item that was a carryover item from the last small catalog. And I love them. They are going to be going away, I'm sure, because one of the colors is Lovely Lipstick, and that's an in color that's going to be leaving. So if you love these little enamel dots, which I do because they're small and they're flatter than some of the bigger things. And look they match with this perfect. So just a little bit, I needed a little something there. So that's the front of the card, all done. Now we're going to do the inside. Sometimes when you put your stamps together, there's one stamp that gives you trouble. And it doesn't want to line up straight. And I have a hard time with some word stamps. So when I have that, I set it up on my Stamparatus. So that's what I did today. It looks so crooked. Doesn't that look crooked? But actually it will stamp straight. So the sticker isn't quite right on there. And to pull it off, you make a big mess. But I can use my Stamparatus and get it lined up just perfectly. So that's what we're going to do today. So I lined it up, I set it on here, and I did take a couple practice stamps, swipes, but I'm lining it up on the grid so that it was straight. I have done this, used this quite a bit, and I never get it straight. So, and if you want it a little bit darker, like I would like it a little bit darker, I'm just going to tap it with the ink again. Go over it again, and voila, a little darker. There we go. So now I have it perfectly centered, but before I close this up, I am going to wipe this off here so I don't make a mess on my Stamparatus. There we go. Okay, that can go out of the way. I'm going to close this up right away. And of course inside I wanted to bring my beautiful designer paper in there too. So I have a little strip of that. And I'm going to put that in on the one side here. Here we go. So I do have a special going on with this stamp set. And with a kit that you can purchase. After I'm done, I'll pull out the paperwork here and show you. I think this is a great set. I think you can use it even if you're not a golfer. The paper is phenomenal. Makes great cards. You can make lady cards, men cards, you know, whatever. There we go. Kid cards, because that one side, the opposite side, is so bright and colorful. I think it would go good in a kid's card too. So let me put this inside, and I will show you what I'm offering you here. There we go. So there. Okay, all done. This was using the punch. See, it has the flags going out. This is using the die that comes with it. I like this one better, a little bit thinner. I think that looks good. So there's our card for today. Here is I'm going to move this away. So if you share or if you chat with me, you leave a comment. Here is my Clubhouse Monkey Cut Kit. So it's the Clubhouse kit. You would get the designer series paper, cut and scored to make 6 cards, including a fun fold. These cards are partially shown here. You get a 4x6 package of the Country Club designer paper. So it'll be cut in 6x4 piece of the paper. You'll get the Country Club twine, which is here. You get the Country Club elements, which are here. I will be making a private video, and you'll get a PDF of the 6 cards. So it's $25 for that. If you don't have the Clubhouse stamp set, which is right here, then, and you need the dies, you would add an additional $47. So let me know if anybody's interested in that. If you have it already, you can just get the kit, that's $25. You can put it all together and be able to make the beautiful cards that I showed you the other day. So that's my deal for today, I think. Oh, here, I'm going to show you the other cards. So, okay, so we did this card today, the lady card, right? Okay. And then I took this card and made this one using the plaid because I thought that was pretty. This is another one of those line drawings. Again, I just used the blender pen so you can see the light and dark. And I think this is a waterway, I don't know. You can see the light and dark. I used this verse here, but they have a die that will cut out just the greatest guy. So I used the die for that. And then the die for this, the golf ball is all, I showed you that the other day, textured. I think that's cool. And then I have just a happy birthday inside. But what I did to create this border here is I took my, my cutout piece, this guy here, and I put this over it. Remember, it's 4 by, where do I have one cut here? It's 3 by 4 when you cut it out. And then I wanted to make it smaller. Let's see here. Let me just grab one piece here. Okay, it's a different picture, but that's okay. What I wanted to have the stitching, but I wanted to use this border along with it. So I took this and cut it out. Now I know that it's not going to have the scallop on it. See that? It's smaller than the scallop, but it will have the stitching. So what I did after I cut it is I cut along the stitching line so that, and then I cut out the green and just glued it right on top. So I didn't have to measure anything up. I didn't have to see if that was correct. I didn't have to play with cutting it. I just cut it out, making sure that my paper went over this stitched line here. And then I cut with my scissors, my paper snips, along that line. And then it lined up perfectly with the scallop border that I wanted to have it framed in with. So there's that. Here's the foreground, there's the background, and then the inside. Yeah, so that's that one. So if coloring it is not your thing, if you're worried about having to color all of these pictures, you don't have to. So this one, I just used the picture at 3 by 4. Use the, this is paper from the Country Club paper also. This is part of the twine that's included, the black, and then the verse. So I just did this. Now you can see inside here, that one is a stitched rectangle. Do you know why that's in there? Because I stamped it so totally crooked, I couldn't do anything with it. And so I just covered it up. You can always cover it up. So there you go. So don't worry about having to color it all. I mean, there's minimal coloring. But if you don't want to color it all, I think that looks really great just like that. So there we go. That's my Country Club set. Clubhouse set. So there, what do you think? I'm going to turn the camera around. Oh, hi, Amy. Oh, my goodness. And Barbara. Thank you for joining me. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you, thank you. I love that. I love when I look up and I see people. Yay! So y'all, let me know that you've been here, because when I go back to that box behind me, I have a whole bunch of, hello Lisa, I have a whole bunch of cards to send out, and I would love to do that. Very nice. Let's see here. I know, we forget about the blender pens, and we forget, I should do something with the blender pen and the watercolor pencils. You could use those on this too. Those would easily do that. So you could color it in with your watercolor pencil and then kind of blend it with your blender pen. The blender pens come in a set of 3. They last a very long time, especially if you're using them by yourself, just making sure that you don't kind of crush the tip of it. So yes, well, great. And the cutting, that makes it easy. They're exactly the same, and then you can go from there. creating different shapes that you want to do. So thank you for joining me. I hope you all are having a fish fry tonight, having a good time. Stay in, stay safe. I will see you on Tuesday, if not sooner. I always try to think I'm going to do something sooner, and then, you know, I don't know what happens, but something. And, but if I can, I will come out sooner. If there's something you want to see, please let me know. I would love to share anything I have here with you. I've got a lot of stuff. So, oh, and Shirley is here too. Yahoo! Man, this is like a red letter day, you guys. And guess what? So on my YouTube video, I'm up to, have a great weekend. I am up to 84 people. Ah! I'm so excited. So take care, y'all. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Enjoy tomorrow. It's going to be 50 degrees here in Wisconsin. We're going to go out and get a little sunshine. So take care. Bye-bye.